Hi Huskies, how's it going? It's Jean back with another episode of Healthy Husky Home, and for today's episode we are going to talk about the importance of sleep. So sleep is a topic that I've actually recently gotten really interested in because just last quarter I was enrolled in Sleep and Population Health, which is a class offered here at UW where I got to learn a lot of interesting things about how sleep can affect our health and our population. Being a part of this class has really changed my life because it made me look at sleep differently. Not as something that we need to be doing every night to feel energized and to feel refreshed the next morning, but it should be something that we prioritize because it's such a large part of our health. Getting enough sleep every night plays a critical role for our bodies, but it's something that is often overlooked by school, work, and fun. And since I already had the awesome connection from my Sleep and Population Health class, I decided to invite my professor, Dr. Michelle Garrison, to also be a part of this video with me. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Garrison.
Hi Jean, thank you for having me here today.
So here is that interview with Dr. Michelle Garrison. Hi, Dr. Garrison. The first question I had for you today is why is sleep deprivation considered such a problem, especially for college students?
One of the things that we sometimes see in college students is that they'll have occasional late nights, either for fun or for studying or whatnot. One of the things that we see there is that their memory the next day, their ability to hold on to the things that they did the day before is going to be worse. And so if you're in school because you want to be able to learn things in these classes and you want to be able to pass these classes and you're putting all of this work in and then not getting that sleep that night that's good and healthy enough for what your body needs, then you're not actually getting as much out of all that studying and work. And so it ends up kind of cheating you out of the benefits of the work that you put in. Another thing that we know is just that, light exposure and media exposure and feeling that need to always be on and always be responding to everything and feeling that pressure to get all the assignments done, all of that can just be a lot, especially when you have all of that going on at once, where it's not just the homework, it's not just the social media, it's everything all together. We know that that makes even the homework take longer and the social media can be more stressful, and then suddenly you're up even later and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're not ready to go to bed yet.
I definitely relate to that because I'm definitely the type of person who would get distracted by something at night, whether that be my homework or a screen. Before I fixed my sleep habits, I was sleeping around 5 hours a night and feeling functional the next day, so I didn't really make anything of my sleep deprivation. How are some of the ways that someone can tell that they're sleep deprived and that they are in need of more sleep?
One really good and simple way to know if you're probably sleep deprived is, are you somebody who's able to wake up in the morning when you need to without an alarm? Because folks who can do that usually are not chronically sleep deprived. Another thing that is a really good thing to watch out for is people who fall asleep easily, like dozing off, whether it's in class or in the library or in a boring car ride or bus ride, or during a movie. Dozing off during the day is not normal, and it really only happens when people are sleep deprived.
So if someone is sleep deprived, how would they go about starting to improve their sleep health?
One thing that can be a really great starting point is to find a time when they can really be consistent about going to bed. Just like bedtime routines are helpful for little kids, it turns out they're also really helpful for us as adults. And so thinking about what is actually calming for me in the evening that I could do each night that would help my body and my brain really know, oh wait, it is actually time to relax and to chill. I think the other thing is just keeping track. Right? Not all the time, but maybe every now and then keep track of your sleep for a week. We sometimes use sleep diaries, some people like to use Fitbits, whatever. But sometimes just keeping track of your sleep for a week and seeing oh, I recognize some patterns here. When we keep track of what's going on, it can be easier to see the patterns and what's working for us and what isn't.
After the week of tracking my sleep, I noticed some patterns in my sleep behavior. I would always fall asleep on my phone, and generally I just had a really late bedtime. So those were the things I tried to target when I was trying to improve my own sleep health, and I almost instantaneously noticed changes in my health. What are some differences we can start to see in our health when we are sleeping better?
Yeah, so I think that people see a variety of things. I think one thing people notice sometimes really quickly is that other people are suddenly less irritating. And it's not that the people around you have changed, but that your perception of things has changed and that your own control over your emotions has changed. And as a result of that, other people magically seem less irritating. Another thing people will sometimes realize is that when they're working on things in class, that those things that are tricky for them, to either hard to understand or problems for a class that are hard to figure out, that those things start to come easier. I think another thing that sometimes people see is that things just feel different about their body, right? That sometimes people will realize like, oh, like my skin feels better, or I have more energy, or I'm just in less pain. That all of those like weird things about our body that just seem like they don't feel right can feel better the next day when we've had enough sleep.
There are definitely so many benefits that come with getting better sleep. One last question, is there anything else that students need to keep in mind about their sleep health?
Yeah, I think one thing to really keep track of is that it's not like you have perfect sleep or nothing else at all, right? That like even getting sleep a little bit better from where you are now is still hugely valuable. The sleep you get at this age actually has a long-term impact on your health, and that it really is, setting you up to be on a better trajectory in the long run when you focus on trying to get more sleep now, and it's just absolutely worthwhile.
Thank you to Michelle Garrison once again for sitting down and talking with me. I did some additional digging on the topic of sleep and found that young adults need anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, and getting more or less than the recommended hours can cause adverse health effects. Getting proper sleep each night will also have other positive benefits, such as sleep decreases your anxiety and stress. A regular sleep routine will not only improve your concentration, but also regulate your mood and improve your judgment and decision-making skills. When you're well rested, you're a better problem solver, which means you're better able to cope with your stress. Sleep helps your body recover. Sleep helps to calm and restore the body. A lack of sleep can contribute to slower reaction times and a harder difficulty in facing mental and physical challenges. Sleep boosts your mood. When you sleep, your brain processes emotions. On nights that you don't get enough sleep, the following day you're probably going to have more negative emotional responses than you do positive ones. Getting your beauty rest will do the opposite and set you up for a happy and generally more positive day. Another important aspect as to why sleep is so important, especially for us as students, is because a lack of sleep can actually lead to lower academic performance. Sleep deprivation can contribute to impaired memory and a reduced motivational drive to complete educational tasks. Without a good night's rest, a student might have trouble staying on task or trouble retaining information, which can all contribute to a lower academic performance. Sitting and talking with Dr. Garrison, as well as enrolling in her class, made me realize that I should probably take a step back and look at how sleep could be affecting my life. And it wasn't until I took those steps to actively improve my sleep health that I realized what I was really missing. When I'm sleeping better, I notice that I'm more focused in class, in a better mood throughout the day, and generally just more productive. For me, taking my sleep health more seriously was like opening a door to a whole nother world. I did not know how drastic the difference a good night's sleep can make until I actually tried it. And now that you have all this information about why sleep is so important for your health, I hope you actively take steps towards improving your sleep and getting enough sleep every night. Sleep is so essential, and we should all be doing our parts to get enough of it. I want to once again thank Dr. Michelle Garrison for being a part of this video, and thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Go dogs!
Goodbye, thank you, and have a good night's sleep.